Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about Twitter's new CEO starting her first day a full 2 weeks ahead of schedule. Selena Gomez caught on camera hitting on soccer players, and Kourtney Kardashian accusing Kim of copying her wedding. First up, Linda Yaccarino, a former NBC Universal marketing executive, officially took over the CEO role at Twitter from Elon Musk, just a few weeks after he announced that he was going to be hiring her. On Monday night, she sent her first tweet as CEO and wrote, "It happened. First day in the books. Stay tuned." As for Musk, he said that his role within the company will transition into being executive chair and CTO, overseeing product, software, and PsyOps. As we know, he's only been the CEO for a couple of months, ever since he bought Twitter for $44 billion last October, and as it stands, he's lost a lot of money. According to one stakeholder, it's now worth 1/3 of what he bought it for. Not only that, but ad revenue is down 59% compared to the same period last year, and it's regularly falling short of weekly projections by as much as 30%. The New York Times released a report saying that only 43% of Twitter's top 1,000 advertisers was still on the platform. So it's going to be a massive uphill battle to try and reverse this decline. During a live stream event that Musk hosted with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he admitted that the company had lost billions of dollars in advertising revenue. He said, "It's definitely been extremely difficult. Basically, our revenue is cut in half because we didn't toe the line." Since the acquisition, he said it's been a huge struggle for Twitter to break even. Advertisers left the platform because of things like unmoderated hate speech, mass layoffs at the company, and general uncertainty about their future direction. In fact, just last week, Ella Irwin, the head of trust and safety, announced that she would be resigning. So there's never been a more chaotic time to take the reins of Twitter. The new CEO has the tough task of making it profitable again and revitalizing its entire ad business. Linda Yaccarino is definitely the right person to do that because of how much experience she's had in the ad industry, but there's no telling how she's going to be working with Musk. Yeah, he's her boss, but at the same time, his tweets and his policy decisions have gotten the company into a lot of trouble, and he admitted that he doesn't even care anymore. Just last month, he spoke to CNBC and said that he didn't care if his controversial tweets upset Twitter advertisers or Tesla shareholders. Quote, "I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it." That means that he's either completely given up on his CEO duties or he's just done playing by other people's rules. Whatever it is, this kind of attitude is costing him a lot of money, but as long as he's made peace with that, there's nothing else you can really say. In December, he came under fire for suspending a group of tech journalists from the platform. He created a new policy on a whim and claimed that these accounts were now violating the company's rules about revealing people's location. Musk claimed that these journalists had doxed him, but it was more to do with the fact that they all reported on him in an unflattering way. Then there was the whole Elon Jet account. Musk permanently suspended this account because it tracked the location of his private jet, despite the fact that he initially promised to leave it up as a part of his commitment to free speech. The Elon Jet account had amassed more than 500,000 followers, and it was run by a 20-year-old Florida college student named Jack Sweeney. He had used publicly available flight tracking information to build a Twitter bot that tweeted every time his jet took off and landed at an airport. Sweeney woke up one morning to a message informing him that his account had been permanently suspended. Apparently, Musk had been frustrated with his idea for quite some time. In fact, it bothered him so much that he personally reached out to Sweeney last December through a private message asking him to take down his account because it posed a security risk. And when he got criticism for this, he posted his justification, writing, "Any account doxing real-time location info of anyone will be suspended, as it is a physical safety violation." But the resulting scandal seemed to exacerbate the issue of his growing unpopularity on a whole. Unsurprisingly, when Musk then asked Twitter users whether or not he should step down as the head of the company, more than 10 million people voted in favor. Eventually, he said that he will resign when he finds someone foolish enough to take the job, but he claimed that he will still run the software and server teams after his replacement is found. He also tweeted, "No one wants the job who can actually keep Twitter alive." So I guess now we'll just have to see about that. Now let's talk about Selena Gomez caught on camera hitting on soccer players. In a new TikTok video posted yesterday, Selena was seen curled up on the grass watching a soccer game with some friends. At one point, she screams to the players, "I'm single, I'm just a little high maintenance, but I'll love you so much." And as the video has been making the rounds on social media, fans have been taking to the comment section saying things like "so relatable," "hilarious," and "so real." It turns out that a lot of people could relate to the struggle of being single. And hey, you can't really say that Selena isn't putting her best foot forward. But there was one particular question that seemed to be going around as well. Some fans were wondering, hey, what happened between her and Zayn Malik? Because judging by this latest video, it's safe to say that they're not dating. In March, they were seen holding hands and kissing while they were on a date in New York City. One TikToker by the name of Clarissa Garcia confirmed the news. She posted a screenshot of messages that her friend had sent her and explained that her friend works as a hostess in a New York City restaurant. She said the two of them walked into her restaurant hand in hand, making out as she sat them at a table. And that's the kind of PDA that lets everyone know they're definitely together. So it's no wonder fans are wondering what happened. The thing is, a lot of them have been hoping for them to get together, considering that we know Selena has always had a bit of a crush on Zayn. Back in the 2010s, she actually admitted that if he asked her out, she would have accepted. Not only that, but when she was asked which member of One Direction she would most want to kiss, you can guess who she said. So it really seems like their relationship had been a long time coming. Fans went absolutely crazy at the news because they've just been wanting them to get together for more than 10 years. They even jumped to conclusions and talked about the prospect of Selena and Zayn getting married, which we all know was taking it a little bit too far. The idea of them dating was first brought to everyone's attention when Zayn followed Selena on Instagram. This might not seem like a super big deal, but it really was if you take a look at the context. He showed his support for Selena in the middle of the drama between her and Hailey Bieber. This was during the time when a lot of celebrities were picking a side in the alleged feud. But the fact that he chose to follow her was really interesting because he only followed 18 people on the platform at the time. She followed him back just days later, and that's what led people to think there could be a romance forming. At the time, even Gigi Hadid seemed to respond to the news, which kind of confirmed that something was going on. An inside source spoke to Us Weekly and said, Gigi has no problem whatsoever with Zayn dating, as long as he's happy and stable and continues to be a good co-parent to Kai. She's fine with whoever he goes out with. The source went on to say that she has well and truly moved on from Zayn and is having fun while she's dating right now. At the time, the romance did make a lot of sense though, considering that Selena seems to have a thing for musicians and singers. She famously dated Justin Bieber on and off from 2011 through to 2018 and was also involved in a 10-month-long romance with The Weeknd from January through to October of 2017. She's also been linked to Zedd, Niall Horan, and Charlie Puth, but she hasn't dated anyone publicly in nearly 5 years. And if you're a Selena fan, you know that's not necessarily a bad thing. She's spoken so many times about how she's comfortable on her own and said that she was fine without a man in her life. She told New Magazine in 2020, "I'm single and I'm totally cool with that. There are a lot of positives to being single and I'm about enjoying them when you're at that stage of life." Then in May last year, she posted a TikTok video where she joked about how she was still without a boyfriend. She deadpan stared into the camera and said, "No, I'm fine. I'm totally fine being single. It's a real thing. It's fine." Then the camera pointed to a nearby sofa showing two couples making out. Now let's talk about the fact that Kourtney Kardashian has accused Kim of copying her wedding. At the end of this week's episode of The Kardashians, we're all given a sneak peek at next week's show, and we can see that Kourtney gets visibly upset about her sister doing the Dolce & Gabbana show. In the scene, she's sitting across from Kendall talking about Kim's role in the show. She puts her face in her hands and starts to cry, saying she sees it as the dollar signs. "Sorry, it just upsets me because it's not just about business. It's just legit copying my wedding." Later in the preview, Kim says, "Wait, she's mad at me?" And she seems to be genuinely thrown off by the whole idea. The issue between Kim and Kourtney started at her wedding to Travis Barker. Dolce & Gabbana designed her wedding dress when she married him for a third time in May of 2022. Then shortly after their wedding, Kim created a collaboration with them and made a memorable appearance at the Dolce & Gabbana show during Milan Fashion Week. In a confessional, Kourtney said, "My sister used my wedding as a business opportunity." So she thinks that Kim stole some of the limelight just to be able to profit off of that same brand. Kendall seems to side with Kourtney here, and she says that her wedding vibes were stripped from her, whereas Kim has no idea how they even came to this conclusion. She said, "I'm really confused at how this narrative came into her head. I couldn't have been more mindful. I said, don't do anything that Kourtney wore to her wedding." But apparently things got so bad between the sisters that Kourtney removed herself from all 4 of their family's group chats, which means that she was genuinely really upset about this whole collaboration. Thankfully, Kim spoke about this fight recently and said that she and Kourtney have since been able to smooth things over. She said, "We've been here before and we'll always be okay. We're always a family. That's how we were raised." It turns out that the actual show itself created a lot of these tense arguments between them. Kim said, "You film it, we think we're good, and we make up. Then you edit it, and I'm seeing all these things that she said behind my back, and she's saying all these things that I'm saying behind her back. And the tension rises all over again. It gets really tricky and it gets really emotional. But at the end of the day, we still love sharing our life." Season 3 of the show also explored the breakdown of Kim's marriage to Kanye. In one episode, she breaks down crying when speaking to Chris about his erratic behavior. She said, "I don't want to be a part of this narrative. It's like, when is this ever going to end? It never will. I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life." Chris reminds her that it isn't her job anymore to control Kanye's behavior, since he's doing this to himself. In her confessional, Kim admits that she doesn't want to reveal her true feelings about Kanye for the sake of their 4 young children, who obviously don't know the full extent of his public public behavior. She insists that her oldest daughter North actually doesn't know anything that's happened with her father. She said, "No TV, only Apple TV. I can't risk an Access Hollywood or anything on the news coming up with their dad mention and they want to watch. I have to figure out a way to protect them so they still haven't seen anything, but then I go into crisis mode." So she's had to put in so much extra work just to make sure her kids don't understand the full scope of Kanye's actions, which would be incredibly difficult under the circumstances, like the fact that he used to be everywhere on the news in the last couple of months. She's clearly finding co-parenting very tough, and that's something that the later seasons are going to be able to explore. So are you guys going to be watching? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all in the next video.